was absolutely amazing. That was a 10. That was phenomenal.
So I was just hoping to interview you, Ryan, and kind of show how things work, to guys that are watching this. How was that session we just did?
No, it was absolutely amazing. That was a 10. That was phenomenal.
10?
Yeah, it really was.
That's the goal, man.
I do so many sessions on my own with your audios, and I've had some pretty good sessions, but yeah, just having this one is completely worth it. Initially, I joined when I started to hear a bit about hypnosis, and the reason that I even met Ryan in the first place was that I ended up joining a community that he was a part of. And the reason I joined I met Fowler was I joined a community that he joined. And the only reason that I joined that community was because I was having so many issues of like approach anxiety. And I felt like I wanted to network with people that, had this sorted. At first I thought that if I joined John's community and if I just listened to the webinars and things, that it would sort itself out, and that or if I did jujitsu or something, martial arts, it would make me more masculine, more dominant and confident, and I'd be able to do it. And all those things helped me in different ways, but it still didn't address the main issue that I was having. I even thought that if I joined some like pickup boot camp and went on a 2-week boot camp and I approached many girls there. I probably approached at least 100 girls down there in those 2 weeks.
So you approached like 100 women. How much easier did approaching 100 women at this camp make it to approach women after that?
So yeah, to my surprise at the time, not much easier at all. In fact, I approached 100 women, and immediately after when I got back, I did go out a couple times and I was able to approach them. So I think I had some momentum, but there was still fundamentally all the issues that I had that gave me the anxiety in the first place. But I didn't really know how. I didn't know how to actually experience the trauma and release the trauma. I knew that I had to let go of it, but I didn't know how to bring it to the surface, release it, and all of that. Honestly, the first session brought to light so many things that I didn't even know were there. That was the beauty of the first session to me, because even before we went into hypnosis, when you were asking me the questions, because my entire life I've only experienced through my own lens. So when I look back before, I just accepted so many things as like normal. I didn't really think much of them, like my upbringing and things like that. But then when you were asking me the questions, I was like, wait a minute, all this happened. And it was actually, wow, like that probably has had an effect on me. And I noticed an immediate change after the first session, an immediate change, an improvement in that. And other people even noticed as well.
Was that temporary or permanent? Was it like a
permanent? I still had things to work on, most certainly, but the amount of change, positive change, even after one session was incredible. One thing is that I am a very logical person, and what I overlooked before was the importance of really looking into your feeling, like what you feel in the moment. So when you're feeling the resistance, feel it to heal it. Exactly. So like when you're in the moment, recognizing where in your body do you feel it, and what does it actually feel like. And so when I was messaging in Fowler's community, in his private community, about the issue that I was having, he actually gave me a lot of good suggestions. And one of them was to really notice the feeling where in your body you feel it and how it feels, and then bring that into the next session that you do with his recordings. Because I definitely was doing his recordings before, but like I said, I wasn't putting enough emphasis on the feeling.
Yeah,
And
explain
so,
what the recordings are, just real briefly.
oh, right. Yeah. So the recordings are basically a guided walkthrough, a guided hypnosis session done by Fowler. And so it's pretty much pretty similar to what a session would be like with him, except for obviously you
Not
can't
guided.
respond. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, he can ask you questions and you respond and truly tailor it to yourself. But he will ask a lot of, or he will get you to really think and to talk to yourself and work through the issues.
How many sessions do you have to do to clear this out that you were struggling with for years?
Oh yeah, that took one. Yeah,
One
one.
self-hypnosis session. That's how it works.
Yeah. It almost sounds too good to be true, like it's magic. But if you really think about it, like I was saying before, this is an internal problem, right? And so this is very much an internal solution.
Scale out of 0 to 10, what was your approach anxiety before?
Yeah, it's probably about an 8.
And what is it now, just approaching girls?
Oh yeah, I would say it's like a 3.
Is there anything you would say to anyone considering doing this, or who wants to learn more, or who is maybe suffering, who is struggling, has stuff that has been holding them back for years? Maybe they don't feel good about themselves, they don't believe in themselves, or they have anxiety or some other stuff. Anything you want to tell any of them?
Yeah, honestly, I feel very fortunate that I found this as soon as I did. But even with that being said, I definitely faced it.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Say wasted, but I had a good 2 or 3 years of wandering around blindly looking for external solutions to an internal problem. And even if you're skeptical about this stuff, because I think it's, especially if you're very logical, it's natural that something like this would sound like it could be too good to be true or anything like that. But just give it a try. I mean,
Yeah.
the just like like the best investors, they say they look for the stuff with the highest upside versus the downside. If you really weigh it out, right, it's like the upside is you clear it forever. A single session clears your problem forever. Even at a pretty good but slightly not as good case, maybe it takes you multiple sessions, but you clear it out forever and you don't have to worry about it. Just imagine whatever you're struggling with right now. Imagine what it would feel like if that was no longer a concern in your life, right? And so that's the kind of upside that you're looking at with hypnosis. And the downside is like, okay, maybe you're short a few $100 or whatever, and maybe you try something else, right?
Thanks for sharing your story, because this is going to help dudes, and that's what this is all about. I want to go to this full time. I am going to this full time instead of my day job, which pays a lot. Work out of my home. I'm my own boss. It's great, but I'm doing this because it's like, this is that good. It really is the real deal. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks for being willing to share your message with others.